Hey gang, welcome back to the GatHouse Fitness channel. So I have frequently been asked either what I did to start my weight loss journey or to progress it, as well as like what are some quick tips you can get me to jumpstart my progress, my path, my journey, whatever. So in light of that, I have put together about 20 tips that have either worked for me, that I've learned through my journey from other fitness professionals, or things that I tell my clients myself. So it's a combination of them all. There are a list of 20 of them. I try not to make it too long. So there are 20 tips that I will give you guys to kind of jumpstart your weight loss journey or progress what you're doing currently. I'm going to try to keep this video short. Like I said, there are 20 tips. So I'm going to, one, try not to like go off on tangents. Two, try not to say the word like 1,000 times. See, there's an extra one already. And just kind of, keep it concise. If I do see that it's going too long, I'll make this a two-part video, and that'll just help me with uploading to YouTube, because the longer it is, the more havoc it will wreak on me. So anyways, let's get started. So I have my tips here on my phone. I wrote them in an email and sent them to myself because I'm just that type of gal. So anyways, all right, so tip number one, just do it, just get started. People really get caught up in where they are physically or mentally or weight wise or what they can't do, but you just need to get started somewhere, do something. So people want to go from 0 to 100, but if you're currently sitting on the couch, get up and walk. Like, you're not going to be a sprinter tomorrow. So just get up and do it. Start somewhere. Something is better than nothing at that point. Two, start small and sustainable. Like I said, people like to go 0 to 100. So they go from sitting on the couch, I haven't worked out in 2 years, to I'm going to work out 7 days a week for 2 hours a day. And then you get tripped up because that's not sustainable for most people. And two, once you get to a point where you fall off, you feel bad that you fell off, and then you don't get back up. You just trip and you stay down instead of tripping and dusting yourself off and getting back up. So if you start small and progress slowly, you have a better chance of making your changes sustainable and a lifestyle change as opposed to something that's going to be short and not sustainable and not last. Let's see. Oh, that takes me to number 3. Quick fixes do not last. Take it from me. If you've watched my previous videos, which I'll link below, I tried various things before I got to a place where I did things the correct way, which are sustainable and you can carry on with you for a lifetime. So all of these fad diets, these cleanses, these detoxes, not to say that a cleanse and a detox isn't good, but usually the reason someone goes into it is not for the actual reasons you're supposed to do a cleanse or a detox. So again, they're not sustainable. All these pills and take a drink of tea and all that kind of stuff, it's not sustainable. And most of the time you will get a result because your body is doing nothing. So when you do something, whether it is, whether it is a fad diet or this extreme exercise program, it doesn't last long because you can't keep it up. Like, you're not going to take a pill for the rest of your life. You're not going to drink this tea for the rest of your life, whatever the case may be. So just know that quick fixes, yeah, they work most of the time, but they don't last. And then two, you usually do more harm than good, because when you bounce back to where you were before, you're going to go past where you were. So if you lost 15 pounds on whatever this magic was, you'll probably gain 20 back. So let's see. 4, when you start, I know people always want to just do cardio when they start. And I understand that because I did a little bit of that in the beginning as well, and you will lose weight, but you usually will be very lanky and not have any muscle definition, and just, your skin tends not to want to, rebound the way you want it to, and that type thing. So you want to do a combination of cardio and weight resistance type training, and also going off of the start small and sustainable. Don't jump up to, you were sitting on the couch and now you're doing 90 minutes of exercise, you probably would want to start with doing 30 to 60 minutes, starting there, and then progressing forward to, I would say, no more than 90 minutes. I myself don't work out usually more than 60 minutes. It's usually 60 to 90. So I really would not do that. I have done sessions in the past, in the very beginning, where I was working out 2-3 hours at a time, but that was supervised, and most people don't have the mindset to want to do that. And I myself now kind of go with the mindset of, after about 45 to 60 minutes, in most cases, your body just stops responding and your mind muscle connection is far past gone for most people. So just, start small and go from there, and do a combination of training. So not just all cardio. The next one is, you won't find time, you have to make time. So for anything that you want to do, you will make time to do it. So if you find that you are important enough to carve out that 30 to 60 minutes, you'll find it. So for some people, that is, I have to wake up, 2 hours early before I go to work. For some people, it is before I even go home, I get it in, or as soon as I walk in the door, I get it in. Whatever your case may be, you have to find your path and get it done. It might be on your lunch break, but there's not ever going to be more than 24 hours in a day. You're likely not going to have less responsibilities in your life just because today you decided you wanted to start working out and get healthy. So you're going to have to make the time. If you want to do it, you will do it. And that's pretty much case in point. Let's see. 6, be honest with yourself. So what I mean by this is, like, say for myself, for example, I know myself. So I'm not going to make a promise to myself that every morning I'm going to wake up at 4 a.m. to work out, because I know Janet don't operate like that in the morning. I'm one of those people in the morning, I'm like, don't speak to me. Thanks, appreciate it. So I know that if I'm going to work out, especially when I was losing weight and I was working 40 plus hours a week office job, I knew that I wasn't going to wake up that early because I needed that sleep. So what I did was do it when I got home. So be honest with yourself in the way that you know you better than you. So you know what you can do, what you can, carve out, what your triggers are, things like that, things that yourself are true to be for you. So go in that motion. So don't try to do what somebody else is doing because it works for them. If you know you and you know that that's not what you want to do, then don't do that. Like, say someone said they lost 60 pounds because they went hiking 6 days a week and you hate being in the woods, then why are you gonna do that? Then you do something else. Let's see, number 7, know your why. Knowing your why is very important for being able to stay consistent and sustainable, I guess. Basically know why you're starting. For some people, it could be because they want to walk their, child down the aisle 10 years from now, and if they keep on the pace they're going, they're not going to see 10 years from now. For other people, it could be they used to be able to walk around the mall, and now walking from their car to the front door pretty much wins them. It could be someone's doctor told them, hey, if you don't lose some weight, you're going to probably end up having to have knee surgery or heart surgery or something like that. Whatever your why is, you have to know that, because there's going to come times when you're going to have to rely on whatever that why is to keep you moving. Because a lot of times in this journey, it'll get tough and you're going to need something to look back on and say, you know what, it's hard right now, but I'm not having that knee surgery, so I got to get it together. Next, know your triggers. And what I mean by this is kind of know what your cause and effects are. So say for myself, when I would get stressed, I would eat, and not just eat like a piece of cake. I would eat the cake. Like, I was the one to cut a piece of cake and I'll leave that one slice for everybody else, and I want to eat the whole cake. So it's pretty much know what gets you to that point. So know what causes me to want to eat the cake. So whatever stress cause it was or emotional cause it was. And then once you know what causes you to do that effect, which would be eat the whole cake, find replacements for it. So you will want to find either something to do or a better food or action to replace it with. So mine was exercise, and there was a time that I would, you know, say eat some bread and honey. I don't eat honey at this point because I'm vegan, but you know, whatever the case may be, you have to find your cause and effect and find replacements for bad behaviors, because like I said earlier, just because you want to get healthy, life isn't going to stop and everything isn't going to be roses all the time. So you're going to have to find new ways to not keep going back to those bad behaviors and the things that got you into the position you're in now. Let's see. 9, make and set goals. So you want to always have a roadmap so you kind of know where you're going. You want to know where you're starting and where you're going. So you're going to need to make goals. But the goals you make need to be attainable. So if it is February and you have a wedding the end of April, you don't really want to say, you might want this, but you don't need to say, you know what, in the next 60 days, I'm going to lose 80, 90 pounds. Yeah, it doesn't work like that. And if you do lose that 90 pounds, it's coming back, or you're going to be dead, one or the other. So you need to make attainable goals. So 1 to 2 pounds a week. You know, I want to stay on track. I want to lose 1 to 2 pounds a week. And then you also want to make goals that also aren't all based on the scale. So, you know, is my mood more elevated? Am I less tired? Do I crave sugar or salt less? Things like that. So you want to make goals, and then you want to track your progress, which is number 10. And within tracking that progress, it kind of doubles back to your goals. You know, are my clothes looser? Are my measurements less or more? Some people are trying to gain weight or gain muscle, so maybe you want to be bigger or smaller. You also take pictures to track your progress. You know, things like that. So everything does not need to be based on the scale, because especially for women, the scale can kind of drive you crazy. So you need to make and set goals that are attainable, that aren't going to put you in harm's way, and then also track your progress and track what you're doing, period, really. So write down your workouts, write down your food for a short period of time. I wouldn't track food for too long. 1, is tedious. 2, it kind of makes most people, unless you're like, you have like an athletic type mind, like a pro athlete mind or a competitor's mind, you're not going to want to do that forever. But just kind of so you can see where you are and where you're trying to go. All right, so let's see. That is 10. So I'm going to cut this video in half. I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to come back and do the other half and make that a separate video, just so this isn't super, super long. So sit tight, and I'll be back with the next video. Thanks.